There is one all-time greatest moment in the history of sports, and it happened in the 1932 World Series. The story goes that in the bottom of the ninth inning, with 2 outs, a full count, and the tying run on base, Babe Ruth raised his arm and pointed to the center field bleachers.
Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. This is Wait, You Haven't Seen. We're live at DragonCon. It's a show where we talk about movies, and specifically, we talk about a movie at least one of us had never seen before. I'm your host, Travis, aka TV's Travis, and this is the show about The Sandlot. And joining me to talk about it, because neither one of them had seen it, it is Calvin and Jackson of Uploads of Fun. How you doing?
Hello. I am good.
I'm good as well.
So neither one of you had seen The Sandlot before. Had you heard of it? Had the name ever been said before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, by my father.
So he had seen it, but he somehow hadn't shown it to you yet?
No,
That just sounds like bad parenting to me. All right, so you had a chance to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
What'd you think just as a movie to watch?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was very enjoyable. It's a movie that anyone can watch, even if you don't like baseball. It's very funny. I would definitely give it a try. It's very good.
I mean, gosh, the casting in this movie is spot on. It's perfect. Everyone they got to play the roles was perfect, and I definitely like the guy who played Ham, which is kind of funny. I've seen the guy who played Ham's videos online. He does videos with his family and stuff, and they're great. And so when I finally watched The Sandlot, I was like, hey, it's the guy from YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. You're killing me, small. I've definitely heard that phrase 1,000 times.
What's great about that is you're equating him to his stuff he did on YouTube and TikTok, and for pretty much everyone else in the room, the guy on YouTube and TikTok is, hey, it's Ham from The Sandlot.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, if you want to go real obscure, one episode of The X-Files where he played a vampire. That's right. So I'm curious, with a movie like this, it's 32 or 33 years old, I think.
Yeah.
But it's also set 30 years before that. It's set in the
Yes.
1960s.
Okay.
Yet you didn't seem to have any trouble kind of relating to the overall themes to it, it seems.
No, because it didn't feel old.
Yeah, it didn't.
Most older movies set in the past are like in black and white. They're very boring. I mean, the characters, it's always, it's it's just so typical and so boring. This was completely different than anything that's been set in the 60s.
And it feels like, does it feel like kids that maybe you would have known at some point?
I wish. I mean, that would have been great, but no.
Now, Sandlot baseball, for me, growing up, was actually something that I did. We had, in a couple of different neighborhoods, we had a Sandlot area. We would go and we would play ball. It wasn't as nice as theirs. We didn't have a backstop. We had, second base was a stump out in the middle of the field, and a tree was your first base, that kind of thing. But what would be an equivalent of something maybe you would have today that could be anything like this, where just like people gathered, and it didn't matter sort of your background. It was just people gathered to do a thing.
Ooh, do we have a place like that? I don't feel like.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a physical place, although if you did have that, because I had Sandlot baseball or arcades or things of that nature growing up. But I'm just curious what you would have had. Would it be something like a online gaming?
Yeah, Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
Fortnite. Okay. So,
this dude.
what would be? Because in this movie, the big thing at the end is the pickle, right? They get into the pickle with the baseball signed by Babe Ruth.
Oh, gosh. I have a big problem with that whole thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's that?
They should have just gone over to Mr. Myrtle and asked for the ball.
But Squint said that they couldn't.
They could have. He said you could have just came over to me and asked for it, and I would have gotten it for you.
Yeah.
The Beast, which is just a dog. Just a dog.
One of the things I love about this movie is that story is so mythical by the time it gets to
Yes.
Scotty and everybody. And Squints has been telling that story probably for like a year, right? Because he's only 10.
Yeah.
But a year as a kid is so long. And that story keeps growing and growing. And the cool thing that the movie did that I like, and I'm curious what you thought of this, was up until the actual chase happens, every time you see the beast, it's this gigantic thing. It's this huge puppet that they used in the movie. Did you like that? And then it reveal, oh, it's just a dog.
Oh, that was hilarious
Yeah.
when I saw that it was just a dog. I was like, okay, that makes more sense because it almost seems like through their heads they over-exaggerated just
Yeah.
how
It was like this-
terrifying this dog was.
Yeah, like this huge monster, but it was actually just a dog.
Right. But we're getting their interpretation of it, their vision of what's going on. So they're going to embellish it. It's the same with the cranky old man.
Oh yeah.
James Earl Jones plays
Yes.
Mr. Myrtle, and he's just an old guy that sits in his house all day because he's blind.
Yeah.
But to them, he's this terrible, angry old man that hates everyone. And so that gets embellished. It really does. It comes off as kids telling the story, and that's, as an audience, that's what we get the whole time.
Yeah.
What do you think of James Earl Jones coming in at the end? Were you familiar with him?
That was awesome. I mean, come on.
I was
one
shocked.
One of the most iconic voices ever. So, I mean, to see him in that.
Yeah, he's Darth Vader.
I mean, yeah. It was very cool. Well, in the whole story, like, you know, he played with Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And then he was this close to beating, like, what was it, his one record. And then he got hit in the eye with a ball, causing him to go blind. I was like, oh, man. That's a great storyline and such a great way to wrap things up with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I captured his. You mentioned his voice. His voice is amazing. I got a couple of clips of him I want to play because I want to hear what you think of this. So first, you had, and famously, James Earl Jones has done a lot of baseball movies. The Sandlot. He is really known for Field of Dreams. Have you ever seen or heard of that one?
No.
Sounds vaguely familiar, but I've never seen it.
I'm starting to wonder about the movie choices here.
We just watched Alien the other night for the first time, so I mean,
Ooh,
we're starting to get into good stuff.
there you go. Oh, well, that works. That was actually going to be a question. Before we play any audio, the movie moves along at a pretty good pace. You didn't have any problem.
yeah.
Like, it didn't get boring for you being a 30-year-old movie?
Oh, no.
No.
It didn't feel 30 years old at all. I mean, there are some movies made today that feel like they're going on forever. And, you know, I mean, there are some movies made even after The Sandlot where the CGI is bad, story's terrible. It really doesn't matter with The Sandlot. It's just great in quality, great story, great actors. Everything they did for this movie was just spot on.
You mentioned CGI. There is none in this. This
Yeah,
is kind
good,
of pre that. But did the puppet look fake?
I liked that.
Okay.
I liked
Yeah, it
it
was fun.
because
I like that.
it gave, you know, again, it over-exaggerated what they were seeing, and instead of doing, you know, I know they couldn't do CGI, but the puppet, like, hand really, or claw or whatever, made it look really, like, corny and kind of scary, but then also just straight out ridiculous at the same time that I loved it.
Excellent. And the movie has kind of these little vignettes, right? Because there's like moments where, like when they go to the pool.
That was great.
You like that scene?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
very much.
Oh my gosh! Wow, talk about comedy gold right there. When Squints goes up and pretends to drown. Well, he doesn't pretend to drown. He drowns himself, but he's fine. And then he just kisses Wendy Peppercorn. That was amazing.
And they have 9 children in
And
the
they
future.
have 9 children. Yeah.
And I
Good for
wonder
him.
if they were to make the movie today, do you think they would still write that scene that way?
No, because people get offended a lot quicker and stuff. Back then, they were just like, "Oh, kid kisses a 20-something-year-old lifeguard.
cares?
Sure, why not? Let's go with that."
Because it does. It feels like that's the one thing in the movie that, for me, when I watch it now, and I'm like, okay, I mean, it was a thing back then, but maybe we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do like at the end though. They got married and have nine. Like
Nine children.
the whole wrap up part at the end.
That was
Bertram
perfect.
got really into the '60s, and no one ever saw him
Again. Yeah.
Did you have when they go to the carnival?
Another awesome scene. That was great.
What I love about this scene is it is every bad decision all rolled into one.
Oh yeah.
Because they probably had 2 or 3 corn dogs before that, or nacho,
yeah.
some kind of fair food, and then it's the chewing tobacco.
Oh, why would you? Oh my gosh! Right
So-
when I saw that, I knew, something bad's happening here. I knew it.
And the thing with that is, especially in the 1960s, that was a normal thing for pro ball players to be chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
A lot of them did, and kids emulated that. So they wanted to join in, but they had no idea. I mean, I will say I have tried chewing tobacco once, and it was awful. But I tried it because I saw a lot of baseball players doing it, and you thought, oh, that's cool. I didn't get on a tilt-a-whirl afterwards, which is let's just compound the bad decisions. But you like that scene.
When they all throw up on the ride and get it on people, and it's just, oh man, and
That's my favorite scene
that's
from the movie.
yeah, that's one of the best scenes right there, because everyone's screaming and their facial expressions right before they do it.
You just
Perfect.
watch it. You're slowly watching them turn green and get worse and worse.
Yeah.
And the much like we were talking kind of CGI for the dog, the effects for that were a bunch of like pea soup and things, and they would shoot that out of a paint gun as they were filming.
Perfect. That was great. It
Yeah.
worked.
The whole movie, by the way, was shot in Utah. And
okay.
did you notice in the pool scene where he's shivering, Squints is like really shivering, and it comes off as him being super nervous, and it works for the scene. Well, behind the scenes on that, every day they filmed was like 100 degrees, except when they were filming at the pool, and it was cold.
It was
so he was
freezing that day?
literally
Yeah.
shivering from the cold.
okay.
They all were. But then later on, they had kids like getting heat stroke while they were filming The Chase.
Wow.
The kid Tom Geary, who plays Scotty, said he passed out and fell into a camera operator while they were filming because he got overheated.
Wow.
And and it's all kids, and child labor laws are like you can only shoot during the day. So if you notice, there's hardly any nighttime scenes.
Well, they have that scene up in the treehouse. I wonder
Right,
if-
but that they can shoot in a studio.
yeah.
So that would be an easy way to get around that. But shooting during the day in Utah in the summer. So it was 100 degrees every day.
Oh, gosh.
How'd you like to do that for your job?
Heck no.
No. Nah.
No? All right.
I mean, unless we're making like The Sandlot, this iconic movie, then maybe.
That's fair.
But not every movie turns into The Sandlot.
Did you have, so you said your favorite scene was at the carnival
Yes.
and them all getting sick from the chewing tobacco. Did you have a favorite scene, Jackson?
I mean, I gotta go with the pool scene. That scene is just. I mean. Well, and the best part is afterwards, like when they all get kicked out, when he takes a final look at her, and
Yeah.
she just kind of raises her glasses down, and she waves at him, and he's like,
He's so excited. And that kid
smile.
played that role to perfection.
yes, I can't see anyone else as Squints. But honestly, the most boring character is like Scotty, the main character. Even though it's being told from his perspective, he's almost like the most boring person that's there.
And there's kind of a reason for that in a way, because he is us as an audience, as
Yeah.
part of this. So he is our conduit into this group of crazy characters, and because he is telling the story, they're all going to be embellished and even more so than what they were. So you had Yeah, who just says yeah for everything. You ever know anybody that has like little tics like that, or do you have any friends growing up that reminded you of any of these characters?
Calvin kind of reminded me of Ham a little bit.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple of audio clips. I do want to play some of these. James Earl Jones, beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know him as Darth Vader. You probably heard him in other things like that. I mentioned how he's done a bunch of baseball movies in the past. He's not really a baseball fan. Like he did the movies and he likes baseball, but he's not a fan. But the way he talks about it makes you think that. Like, for instance, this one.
Baseball was life, and I was good at it.
It feels, that's the mark of a good actor, because it feels like he really does believe that.
It's James Earl Jones. I mean,
Yeah, the
anything he says, you believe. Like,
Okay, so here's a question for you. So they get into their pickle, right? And in the movie, I assume everyone in the room has seen this movie except for these two? Well, no, I know you haven't, but that's fine. In the movie, they get into a pickle where Scotty, they have no more baseballs. These kids can get like one baseball a day because it costs them, I think it's 98 cents.
Yeah.
They lose their last baseball. They hit it over the fence. Scotty's like, I've got one at home. He runs home to grab out of his stepdad's trophy case a signed Babe Ruth baseball. He has no idea who Babe Ruth is.
That's one of the best parts, too. He doesn't know who Babe Ruth is, and no matter how many times they say the name to him, he's like,
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Oh, my gosh, that's the same guy?
Well, because Babe Ruth had so many nicknames, right? The Bambino, the Sultan of Swat, and they're telling him all these names, and he fakes it till he makes it. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, yeah, I know who the Bambino is. No clue. So he grabs the ball. He gets a chance to bat, hits the ball over the fence into the yard with the beast. Then realizes he's made a huge mistake. And now he needs to get the ball back. And who did he say it was from? Do you remember?
He said, oh, man, some lady signed it by Baby Ruth. Babe Ruth! And then they all go and run up to go get this thing because they know it's priceless.
Yes. When they meet with Mr. Myrtle later, and he says, you boys are in trouble. And he takes them inside the house, and they get the ball from the dog. I love this because when he finds out that it was signed by Babe Ruth, first, this gives you a clue as to his background when he says,
it was signed by Babe Ruth.
George signed this?
because he knows who George is.
Yeah.
But then, I love this.
I take it back. You're not in trouble. You're dead where you stand.
Yep. Yeah.
He knows, oh, your stepdad, you're done.
Yep.
And his stepdad, by the way, in this movie is played by Dennis Leary. And it was one of Dennis Leary's earliest, acting roles outside of comedy. He's perfect at it.
Oh, yeah.
He truly is. And I thought he was going to be a giant douchebag in the beginning, but then by the end, you see, oh, he's kind of a nice guy.
And the thing is, if you know Dennis Leary, yes, that is his whole comedy routine. So for him to not be that is even better.
Yes.
Yes. Also, you mentioned, I think, Jackson, you mentioned it, but the first thing that Mr. Myrtle says to him.
Why don't you just knock on the door? I'd have gotten it for you.
How none of the kids noticed it was signed by Babe Ruth, too, is the thing that has always gotten me.
That's exactly what I said right when he got the ball. How did no one else see that it was signed?
No one
Because
even
they thought
looked
it was
at
just a normal ball.
True, but man, I would have checked it. I would have checked it.
But again, bunch of kids, they just want to play baseball. So
Yeah.
they just grab the ball and go.
It's a very real scenario, but ask the man for the ball back, especially when it's that priceless.
True. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is he yells at you and you got to run away. Instead of being chased all through town by a giant dog.
Well, and then they eventually knock down his fence because the dog knocks it down trying to get the ball.
Yeah. And he's very relaxed about that. I would have been more upset about the fence getting knocked down than anything else.
He can't see the fence. He doesn't care. He can't
All
see
right.
the fence.
You have a good point there. Calvin, your favorite scene was the carnival. Did you have a line that stuck out to you? Anything that you remember?
No, but probably just like the facial expressions and then the throw up getting all over like people's shoes. It was like, ugh, like that is disgusting, but also really funny.
It's proof. It's proof that can always be funny. Jackson, how about you? Is there any line in the movie that really stood out to you, or a delivery of one?
You're killing me, Smalls. Anything by Ham. Anything by Ham.
The s'mores scene, because
s'more
Smalls doesn't know what s'mores are.
are.
So he's like, some more of what? I haven't had anything.
You're killing me, Smalls. Oh, and then the whole scene where he explains what s'mores are, perfect.
Yep.
When the douchebag rich kids want to play them, and the whole scene where Ham is going up against this one guy, and they're trash talking each other, and I thought this was kind of ridiculous. You know, the worst line he said was, you know, "You play like a girl," and then everyone just stops and gasps.
Here's that delivery, because Patrick Renna's delivery of that is perfect. And
Yes.
It wasn't initially supposed to be him. It was supposed to be a different kid, and then he kind of stepped in and started riffing it. But this was the ultimate insult. And when I was a kid, it was the ultimate insult. Less so, I think, now. But
You play ball like a girl!
and that stops everything dead in its tracks. There's like 18 kids, and they're just all, oh, that was the worst thing you could say. I'm taking it. It didn't hit that way for you?
Well, it was more it was more funny than anything. I mean, but then what's even funnier is when they finally do play them, and you know he's trash talking the guys while they're batting. Is that your sister out in the field, naked? You think she'd go out with me?
Ham is probably the best character in this movie. Honestly.
Facts.
Definitely.
He's the one that gets to have the most fun. He does the Babe Ruth calls his shot at one point. They all laugh at him, and then he hits a home run anyway.
Yeah.
You mentioned this one. I just like this.
Shut up! You're killing me, Smalls.
I use that to this day, just in random conversation. Maybe you will too. Maybe now that you've seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Our dad.
Have you ever heard anyone say that?
Our dad.
Yeah.
Definitely. Told you, Benny. Told you. Yes.
That's a good one. Benny, by the way, I did not know this until this watch through. The kid that plays Benny and the actor that plays older Ben at the final scene, brothers. Which I thought was really cool because they look really similar, and I thought, wow, they did a great job finding an older actor that looked like that kid. No, they just cast his older brother. And he's wearing number 3 in honor of Babe Ruth.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Well, and then the end, Ham becomes the great Hambino, the wrestler.
That is perfect, by the way. That
Yes.
character would absolutely become a pro wrestler. No question. You had one that just disappeared into the 60s and one that becomes a pro wrestler. You ever hear this? I'm curious if you understood what this reference was.
The kid is a L7 weenie.
I actually don't know what that
I don't
means.
know what that is, really.
So an L7 weenie, a square. And a square was a way to call somebody a nerd or a geek back in the day.
Okay.
So that
Well,
was
the way Squint says it again. It's comedy. It's just great comedy. The whole movie is filled with. The best parts are when the kids are just ripping each other when they're making fun of one another. It's perfect.
and it all relies on those kids having good chemistry together. Because you believe that they're friends throughout the whole movie.
Well, and they're not so sure about, Scotty at the beginning, and then they finally start to accept him because of Benny.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of takes a step back a little bit when they realize what he allowed to happen. He allowed a Babe Ruth signed baseball to get trapped with what they thought was a beast.
Well, and it's great because that's like Act 3 of the movie is that happens, and rather than ostracize him, they all band together because they became friends. And that's at the core of the movie. What works so well is now we get 20 minutes, 25 minutes of movie time of them, a montage of them trying to get it back.
The one scene where Yaya gets lowered down to get it, he should have just thrown it over the fence or something, not have dropped it.
That was
back
so dumb.
down. I went, oh, no. Well, and by that time, the dog had already ruined its worth.
Sure.
It had chewed it up and everything. So Smalls was kind of dead already, but thank God, in the end, he got a baseball signed by all the 1927 Yankees.
Yes.
The whole team. Oh,
Man.
Yeah, which is, if you're a baseball fan, the 1927 Yankees is the baseball team.
That wouldn't. If that was sold, it would never be sold. Whoever has that ball never would give that up. They would have it buried with them or something.
So Squints has probably some of the best lines, but I like this one because this feels like something that a kid would say, not really understanding what it meant, or not getting how the context of it would work. And this is when they're in the pool.
I swim here every summer in my adult life.
He heard somebody say that at some point and just parroted it.
Yeah, that definitely.
Oh,
Hamilton Porter became a professional wrestler. You know him as the Great Hambino.
Yeah.
that's a pretty good name, too.
Yeah.
It's perfect, and it matches what the character would call himself because you know that one scene before they go out to play, I'm the Great Hambino.
Yeah.
I'm a great Bambino.
And they can't understand
and they
what
can't
he's
understand what he's
saying.
saying. Yes.
Because he's trying to emulate the chewing tobacco with a bunch of bubble gum.
Yeah.
Which is what I always did. That was my move, was the Big League Chew was back in the day. It was bubble gum marketed as chewing tobacco.
Yes. Well, that's
also-
what they go back to after they have that whole chewing
Yes.
tobacco incident. We'll just stick with Big League too.
Yeah, we had a lot of weird stuff when I was a kid. We had candy cigarettes.
Oh, my grandmother loves those things.
They were just chalk. It
Yeah.
was just chalk and sugar.
I used to like them, but now, yeah, it is just chalk and sugar.
Necco wafers taste better than that. And that's true, you can. I like this line a lot, and this is from Benny's Dream, which
Oh, where he meets Babe Ruth in
Yeah.
a dream.
Babe Ruth, played by the late Art LaFleur, and I love that performance of Babe Ruth is one of my favorite Babe Ruths. It just, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's because it's like a dream sequence and he's really hamming up the performance. He's really overplaying it, chewing on that cigar the whole time. But I like this when he's leaving.
Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
It fits into the theme of the movie a lot too, because this whole story became a legend for this kid into his adulthood, and really all of those kids.
Yes. I mean, it's Babe Ruth. We're still talking about Babe Ruth to this day, especially when it comes to
And were you
baseball.
familiar with Babe Ruth at all prior to the movie?
No.
I knew who Babe Ruth was, and I definitely know about the candy of Babe Ruth, but I don't know too many more specifics about him.
Neither one of you baseball fans.
No.
Our mom is.
Okay. Is it just something you didn't grow up watching, or is it too boring?
Boring.
yeah. Boring for the
Okay.
most part.
All right. I mean, you're wrong about that, but that's okay. Obviously, this movie isn't boring, and it's all about baseball.
But there are more elements about it that make it not boring. It's the chemistry between the kids. It's the many comedy aspects. It's just the story as a whole is so very well done. And the casting, again, everyone played their part perfectly. I can't see the Sandlot being played by anyone else.
Right. And it's also, I think, the big theme in the movie is acceptance and being brought, being an outsider, because he has to move. He doesn't know anybody. And was that something that, as you were watching the movie, you kind of noticed? Or did it take sort of reflecting afterwards, like, oh, no, he found these friends? Because it's sort of a found family in a way.
What do you think, Cal?
I mean, were you noticing kind of how quickly they incorporated him in?
Not at first, because they all made fun of him. They
Yeah.
all, especially when he said, "Who's that? Who's Babe Ruth?" They all ridiculed him about that. But then once Benny finally taught him to throw, because he ran to give them the baseball instead of throwing it.
You don't do that.
You don't do that. And finally taught him how to, bat. That's when things finally started to get better for him, and then that's when you finally see that slowly but surely start to happen, because it takes time for that stuff to happen. But it happens
does, but it also
relatively
takes
quickly.
it takes that one person to accept him and just want to have him around and be like, oh, he wants to be here. Let's let him be part of this.
Well, I think that's why Benny becomes so successful, not because of his skills, but also his character. His character as a person helps him to just become. I mean, he becomes a pro league baseball player. I mean,
That's a great insight to it that I think when I first saw this movie definitely wasn't something I thought about, like that's what helped him to become a pro. is his character as a person outside of just his skills. Because in the movie, they just talk about how he's better than everybody else. He doesn't need to practice. You know, all the other kids say that to him, and he's like, no, I need to practice every day. So it's that work ethic and that character, and it comes through in the way the character is written in the story. So I like that you picked up on that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary trying to teach him how to play catch.
The one time he catches it,
Hits him in the
hits
eye.
him in the hits him in the eye.
Yeah.
That whole scene is so hard to watch, but it's also at the same time perfect.
It's a slow-speed car crash
It-
because
it
you
is.
know something bad is going to happen, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for what is the outcome of this.
I'm surprised he plays baseball ever again after that. But again, it's Benny who pushes him to play because he's sitting there on his front porch with a black eye
Yep.
and that stupid plastic, catcher's mitt. And, Benny's like, come and play. And he says no. And he gives him a real catcher's mitt, and then they go out and play. But that whole scene really just kind of sets him up for failure. But at the same time, he catches his first ball, even though he does get hit very badly in the eye.
And the way his dad deals with that.
Yes.
They come inside, and he grabs a steak out of the fridge and slaps it on his face and says, hold that there for about 20 minutes. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I blame his stepdad for not telling him about Babe Ruth. Why in the heck would his stepdad never have told him about Babe Ruth when he has a baseball signed by Babe Ruth in his trophy case?
Yeah. It takes Scotty's mom to tell him who Babe Ruth was
And that's when
what
he-
it meant to his stepdad.
Yes. Well, at that point, he finally knew, but then that was when he had to switch the ball for a fake one.
Yeah. Which totally would never work. The second somebody looked at that ball.
No. Especially, well, his stepdad wasn't home yet.
Thankfully.
Thankfully,
That's the only
because his
reason that worked at
stepdad
all.
definitely would have noticed.
Oh, yeah.
He would have noticed just how clean the ball was because they bought it brand new.
Well, and that's another thing. Did they not have glass cases for baseballs back then?
No.
Because they didn't? Okay, because if I have a baseball signed by Babe Ruth, I'm keeping that thing in a glass case. I'm keeping that like a freaking laser jail so no one can get it. Something.
Well, I mean, collecting is a lot different now because you notice he had a whole room of stuff, but everything was out because he wanted to be able to look at it, as opposed to keeping it under lock and key, which is how Scotty gets the ball in the first place.
Well,
Again.
it would be much different today because if even rumor got out that you had a baseball signed by Babe Ruth, someone would break into your house.
So, what would be the equivalent of the Babe Ruth baseball to you today? Can you think of something that would fit into that same kind of an idea of just this mythical thing? Whether you understand what it is or not, what do you think would be that if the movie wasn't about baseball? And for anybody in the audience, what would you think of as an equivalent thing today that it could be? We have a microphone here. You can step
Probably
up.
like a rare comic book, maybe?
Or
Okay.
like the first Spider-Man ever made,
Yeah.
like the first, like signed by Stan Lee or something with his passing. That would, man,
Okay,
that'd be
all right.
worth a lot.
Darth Vader's lightsaber is going up for auction soon.
That's a good one.
The original? Oh my god.
The actual movie prop. Okay, that's a good one. So there's a version of it you could do today. I don't know how you'd be using that, where you'd grab it from somebody's trophy case, but I guess maybe you had like a replica and
Use it as a
it
baseball
broke.
bat.
There you go, baseball. Tie it all back together.
I mean, when it comes to sports stuff, I can think of a million things. If someone were able to find like the one of the many backboards that Shaquille O'Neal broke,
Oh,
that would
that's
be
good.
that would be cool. Or one of Kobe's rings, but those are probably in a museum somewhere
Probably.
locked up. You can't get them. But I'm trying to think of something for me personally that would be worth a lot. Probably, I love The Dark Knight. That's one of my all-time favorite movie. I love Heath Ledger. So anything signed by Heath Ledger would be
Okay.
I would absolutely love that with his passing, man. I would love to have something
Mhm.
signed by him.
Calvin, do you have anything you'd think of?
Something signed.
It doesn't.
Well, it
I mean,
doesn't have to be
signed,
signed, just something that would be
something
the
of that
equivalent
value.
of that. That kind of value, that sort of mythical status.
I know you just he's just now getting into the Lord of the Rings movies. He watched the first one and You watched the second
Ooh,
one,
yeah,
right?
probably one of the rings from like the actual prop set.
Okay, all right.
I think that would be equivalent.
Now the next question is, what would be something of your dad's that would be that level of thing? What's your dad's signed Babe Ruth baseball? And can you talk about it here?
Probably the original DeLorean from Back to the Future would be. I think that would be his almighty
Okay.
thing. Or like, I don't know if what's her name from Karate Kid? Oh, if like a magazine signed by Elizabeth Shue, like that would be his thing.
Okay, all right. Of course. I'd like to see the movie where the two of you have to take his car out to do some racing or something, and he happens to have the DeLorean just sitting in the garage. And you're like, I've got a car, having no idea what it is. You just hop into that car and take it out for a ride.
Well, in that situation, there is no replacement for that unless Christopher Lloyd or Michael J. Fox make like a exclusive DeLorean for us to like give him back, and since we smashed the original one,
Or maybe you get the train from the end of Back to the Future 3.
that would be cool. Yeah, see,
See, I know.
yeah.
I have a couple of other. So there's the two brothers in the group, and they really only served. They're a one-note. All the kids are kind of one-note jokes in a way, but they have like Tommy and Timmy, and he just repeats everything he says. Have you two ever done something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's Tommy is the older. I don't remember which one's the older one. That has one good line, which is when the vacuums explode.
What does he say? I can't remember.
I blame myself.
Oh, and then he comes out with all the dust.
All the
on
dust
him.
on him.
Yes.
Because they link 3 vacuum cleaners together to try and suction up the ball from the other side of the fence, and then the beast pinches the pipe.
Yeah.
And all of the pressure builds up, and the 3 vacuum cleaners explode in their treehouse, and he just walks out head to toe covered in dust. Ever have that happen?
No.
No.
Have you ever used a vacuum?
Yes.
Not
Okay.
3 at once, but yes, I've used a vacuum.
Okay, all right. I like to when again coming back to like L7 Weenie and the kids are all because Scotty shows up, he's wearing khaki shorts and his like pressed shirt tucked in and that hat. He has the worst baseball hat you have ever seen. To this day I have never seen a hat like it with a bill on the front that sticks out like a foot and a half. Like if you turn too quickly, he would knock somebody out with it.
He, again, like kind of like Benny says, with baseball, you stop thinking so much, and you're the kid that kind of gets all the good grades. He's a nerd, but they kind of teach him the opposite way with baseball, which is what he needed.
Well, and it's funny you say he gets good grades because there's the great line when Benny's first talking to him.
How'd you get straight A's and shit, huh?
No, I got a B once.
And then he goes, actually, it was an A minus, but it should have been a B.
Yeah. They also, let's see, what was, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he looks pretty crappy.
You ever know anybody that's got a vocal tick like that? Something that they just say all the time? Or did either one of you ever go through like a phase maybe where you did that? You had a thing that you
phase.
said way too much.
Oh, Calvin's had 1,000 different phases of stuff you said. What have you said over time?
Oh man.
He used to.
Oh, you looked.
You looked.
This?
That thing. Yeah, you looked.
Lost the game.
What, I feel like you've said a bunch more things, but I just can't think of them. He goes through phases all the time of whatever he sees on the internet. He says.
Yep.
So it's a meme thing?
Yep.
You find a meme
Yeah.
and you latch onto it for a
For
month?
like a month and then I'm done.
Yeah.
I forget about it.
Yeah, that happens. It seems like it happens faster and faster too.
Memes come and go very quickly, which thank God, because most of them are not that great to begin with.
I like this too.
Don't be a goofus. Don't be a goofus. Don't be a goofus.
He doesn't even say doofus right. He calls himself a goofus.
No, that was a different term. He was being a goofus.
That was a okay.
That was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Highlights magazine, Goofus and Gallant.
Oh, okay. We're too young to know that.
That's fair. That's fair. I was too young to know that when I was a kid. I just figured it was a word he made up. But, when I first saw this movie, I was, I think, 11 or 12.
Oh.
So, but that's a long time. That was 30 years ago.
Well, I was kind of making fun of him when he was saying that. I was like, man, he can't even say doofus right.
Which actually fits. It makes him even more so.
Yes.
It makes Scotty who Scotty is.
Well, and then right after that, that's the scene where he tries to throw it and it goes like 2 feet.
He can't even get his feet right to throw.
Yeah, no.
Because he's never been taught. He
No.
had no idea how to do it. And the only instruction he got from his stepdad when they tried to play catch was,
Keep your eye on the ball.
that's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, no kidding. Keep your eye on the ball.
Right. Well, he didn't mean it literally.
Yeah.
But
No.
I love this little kid in the chase. The chase, by the way, is so much fun. It's one of my favorite kind of just chase scenes in a movie because so much happens in it.
They go through so many different areas. They go through like a movie theater, and it's in the '60s, so it's a black and white movie, and they cut through the scene. The Beast does, and then I think it was it a fair or something? Like
There was a fair going on. They went through by the pool, I think, at one point.
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's when you get the little kid.
Mommy, look at doggy. Ooh, a big doggy.
Ooh, a big doggy.
doggy.
I love that kid.
Yeah. That whole scene was very well done. My question was that one dog the entire time, or did they switch through different dogs throughout that whole scene? Because if they didn't, man, that dog was super well trained. Holy crap.
Well, I mean, stage dogs, they have companies that train dogs for film. They're actors. So, yeah, it was one dog throughout the whole thing.
We can't get our dog to go outside properly, so.
Another way they made fun of him, because there's a lot of ribbing of Scotty at first.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this might be Squints.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oscar Mayer even.
Because he called him a weenie, and then says, yeah, Oscar Mayer.
Again, always, they're always just adding on to what someone else says. It's perfect.
Did I have another one? No, I did not. Oh, nope, this is Scotty. I just like this because I capture weird noises at times in movies. Because you get a lot of strange, like either yells or screams or laughs, and this one in particular. When he's trying to catch the ball in the outfield for the first time.
Well, and he doesn't know. I think Benny tells him to go center left center or something, and he says, "Is it right here?" And he said, "No, center, man. That's just left." He goes in the center.
And he moves over a few feet and stands there, and then when the ball gets hit right to him. And I've been that kid on a baseball field too, like tripping over yourself. Because if you don't know how to play, even if you are, at all athletic, you still, at that age especially, you're all knees and elbows.
Well, I think that's...
You guys know that.
Yeah.
Well, with anything new you're trying, you're gonna suck at it at first. And that was his first time ever trying to catch something. I think ever, not even just baseball. I think just trying to catch something in general. With the way he tried to do it, it did not work out. But then once Benny taught him, he finally understood how to do it.
Also, I love how Benny would just have like a glove in his back pocket or a hat in his back pocket at all times.
Anything anyone needed, just back pocket.
Yep, he's just a roving baseball store. So the scene where they have their sleepover, right? Because Scotty doesn't know what the Beast is. And I like how that starts because he says, "What's the Beast?" And all they do is say, "Sleepover."
Oh, yeah.
And they have their little sleepover in their tree house, and that's when Squints gets to tell his story.
Mm-hmm. And then he's like, "Oh yes."
Right, they're keeping him quiet because they don't
Yes.
want to wake the dog because it's right next to where this beast
Yep.
is. That for me is my favorite scene because it is the whole movie has already been a kid telling a story, and it's very embellished. The characters are overdone, and the beast itself is overdone, but then we kind of do like story inception because now we've got a kid telling a story within the story, which has become a tall tale, and that's when they flash back to black and white.
Well, and I would love to know the true story of Mr. Myrtle and this dog, because they talked about how this guy owned a junkyard, and this dog was eating, and like people who would get into the junkyard and stuff. Looking at this dog, that dog, no dog is big enough to eat people. Especially that dog.
That's the beauty of it, is the whole thing is so over embellished. Like they show him, he got a puppy, and he takes the puppy and puts it into a trailer, and then he's throwing whole sides of beef in to feed the dog. And the dog grew to huge size. And when the people come to rob the junkyard, and they're wearing like black masks,
Yes, the typical robber
Yes.
looks.
striped shirts, I think even.
Yes.
And then the beast just ate them. Because again, it's a kid telling a story.
Oh yeah.
He probably heard that like this guy had a junkyard dog, and maybe somebody tried to break in, and the dog scared them off. But that became the dog ate them, and it ate a kid.
Oh yeah.
And it just becomes this mythical thing.
Well, it was almost like like a campfire story, flashlight in hand, and it turned into like this black and white movie almost. That was perfectly well done. I wish more movies would do stuff like that, over exaggerate it.
Yeah, you like the like really flamboyant, overdone stuff like that.
In that context, it worked.
As a story?
Yes.
Yeah. I think also what works for that is having all of the dialogue be mouthed by the actors in the flashback, but it's his voice the whole
It's his
time.
voice.
So it's this 10-year-old kid's voice.
Forever.
Oh, you mean...
Forever. Yeah.
Forever.
That's another one I use way too much. Anytime I have to say the word forever, I overpronounce it because of this movie.
It's perfect. Again, it's perfect.
Can you think of a movie that would be anything like this today? Like this kind of, because it's very much a coming of age, finding your family or finding your friends type of story. Is there something that feels like maybe that you've seen in the last few years that would be like The Sandlot?
Last few years. Ooh.
Or, any movie that you've seen in the last few years, but maybe it's just something more modern.
I think it was made maybe even a little before or maybe after, but it's definitely not modern, I would say. But Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I like Rookie of the Year.
That's a great movie.
That's a really great movie. Becomes a pitcher for the Chicago Cubs because he landed on his arm wrong.
Right.
And at least he actually knows about baseball. I'll just say that.
That's true.
That one's a really good one. But modern, I can't think of anything that's
no.
like The Sandlot. Coming of age.
And nothing kind of comes to mind that's like just a group of kids maybe getting together. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's not in the same genre, but like the idea of these kids having their stories. And in their case, the tall tales are true and actually happening.
Yeah. That one was definitely more extreme. More extreme because, I mean, obviously, I think the Scotty in that scenario, the outcast is Elle.
Yes.
She has powers and everything and barely talks in the beginning. So
Whereas Scotty won't shut up.
Yeah.
He just goes and goes and goes. It's him and Yeah all the time.
Yeah.
Or in Squints.
But when Squints talks, it's hilarious. When Ham talks, hilarious.
So was Ham both of your favorite characters?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Okay.
definitely. I
All
would
right.
love to meet him. I hear he does cons now. I saw that he goes to cons. I'd love to meet him.
He would be fun to meet. He would be. Okay, so if you can't choose Ham, who is your next favorite character in the movie?
Squints.
Yeah.
All right. I like that you both have the same favorite. Like you're on the same path.
We're very much into comedy, so the funniest characters or the funniest people in movies we always pay attention to. And they obviously had the best lines. They performed very well for those characters. If they ever replaced both of those characters, I would never watch The Sandlot again. So
Well, they didn't replace them, but they did make a sequel to the movie.
Boo, boo! I'm never watching it.
I see. I'm with you in that I think it's a movie that doesn't need a sequel.
It does. No, there's some movies you just don't touch.
We should watch it just to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
I forbid it.
Yeah, we're not watching that.
All right, I take back some of the bad parenting lines I said earlier. All right, Calvin. Which character from the movie is your brother? It's a tough one.
Maybe a mix. Can it be a mix?
I'll allow it.
Probably Ham with Benny. Probably, yeah.
Ham with Benny. So he's athletic. He can run.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What? I don't know where you're getting your information from, but I stopped playing basketball because I hate running. Man, I hate it. So, I mean, sure.
Then probably just Ham.
Yeah, okay, cool.
All right, Jackson. Who's your brother from the movie?
Ham and Squints, definitely.
Hey.
Especially that's when Calvin gets overexcited about something and he really gets his teeth shown in a smile.
Yeah.
I see that Squint smile.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, now you don't play a lot of baseball, but if you did, Jackson, would you have a position that you would play? If you were on the Sandlot team, where is Benny putting you on the field? Any idea?
Left center.
Yeah, sure. Left center. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, left center.
All right. So you're the Scotty in this.
Yeah,
situation.
I'll be Scotty.
Would you catch the ball, or would it end up being more? And would you make that sound?
I would. My sound would be a lot more dramatic, actually, probably.
You'd also have further to fall. You're much taller than Scotty.
Yeah.
So you both enjoyed this. Would you go back and watch? Because you said you saw Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Are there other movies maybe from that era you would want to check out? Not even baseball related necessarily, but there are a lot of baseball movies. Baseball is a sport that translates to movies, I think, better than a lot of other ones for some reason. But what's another kind of coming of age movie that maybe you would want to check out that you had heard of before?
I hear Stand By Me is a really popular one. I would want to check that one out, even though I hear Will Wheaton's a dick. I'm just kidding. I'd love to see that.
Stand By Me. All right.
Stand By Me.
Coming of age movies? I don't really know many.
You don't really know many? Can you give us some more examples?
I mean, Stand By Me would be the first one I would have mentioned. So.
Yeah. Well, that one I hear the Duffer Brothers got a lot of inspiration for that in Stranger Things. Stand By Me, especially the four main guys. That's where they got that from.
I recommend seeing it. It's a good one.
Oh,
perfect.
Yay.
There you go. You got the stamp of approval.
Nice.
Of the baseball movies that you've seen, is it just this and Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Moneyball. Oh.
Wait, have I seen Moneyball? I haven't seen Moneyball.
Moneyball is a great movie.
Nope.
I've heard of that one, though. I want to watch that one.
That's a great one because that's the same era of films, but it's football related instead of baseball. Are there any? So Little Giants was mentioned. Did anybody else have any of those kind of same movies that maybe they remember from that era or from your youth at all?
Oh, we've seen Goonies.
Goonies.
We've definitely seen Goonies.
I heard Bad News Bears twice now. Which one? Mighty Ducks. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Oh, Mighty Ducks. Yes, we were. We were forced to watch that.
I've only seen the first one.
I've seen all three. The first two are great. I love them. Yeah.
That seems to happen though with those movies.
Third, first and second, great. Third one, why'd you even consider making this?
I can tell you why. Money.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, John Candy. Yes,
Never
I
seen
love
it.
John Candy. Oh,
I've never seen it.
Calvin, what is wrong with
I've never seen it.
Wow. Well, you need to see that one.
Cool Runnings is a great movie.
Absolutely.
Anything with John Candy's great. I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Him and
Thank
Steve
you.
Martin. Oh,
The ultimate Thanksgiving movie.
the ultimate. That one's a great one. And I mean, I've never seen. Look, it said it had over 40 f-bombs in this movie. I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm not allowed to watch this." It's all in one scene.
It is.
And Steve
it's
Martin
amazing.
says it multiple times. I love that scene.
It's all.
I love it.
There's 40 of them. 39 are Steve Martin. Yes. Well, boys, thank you so much for coming here and chatting with
Thanks
me.
for having us.
Yes, thank you.
I'm really glad that you liked this movie. I was I wasn't concerned, but I was curious how it was going to match for you being a 30-year-old movie set 30 years prior to that. I mean, the movie itself is older than I think both of you combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have
So
grown,
let that sink in, Rome.
You know, musically, I would have loved to have grown up in the 60s because they were just getting into the 70s and then 80s and 90s. I'm in a terrible era of music right now. There's not...
It's not that bad.
It's not that great. Back then, the beat...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Branch out and find some more music.
They had the Beatles in the 60s. Elvis was, they had... Led Zeppelin was starting out. Jimi Hendrix. The 60s were awesome. 60s, 70s. I would have loved to have grown up in that musical era.
That's a whole conversation we could have on a different day for sure.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. No, I'm glad that you enjoyed the movie because for me this was a movie that some of it I feel like was because of when I saw it, but watching it again, I hadn't watched it in many years, and watching it again, I realized no, a lot of this really holds up. It's because it's such a simple, basic story that can connect to anybody, and then to have these really fun, over-the-top characters throughout it that you enjoy.
I think with a movie like that, that's when a movie turns into a film, when it's able to hold up for that long and spread across that many generations of people, and still people are watching it to this day, discussing about it. That's how you know you made something iconic.
Iconic is a great word for it, and this movie is iconic. And that you picked up on things that, I definitely hadn't picked up on when I was younger, or certainly not at your age, of like Benny's character and how that carried him through, and how he's the one that brings Scotty into the group because he just sees like, oh, this kid just wants to be a kid and have fun, and telling him, stop thinking, just have fun. Yes. That's, I think, advice we all could use, because I know I think way too much.
Well, it has so many different elements to it. It's also a summer movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that just adds another layer of, it just makes the movie better. They had so many great elements to this movie. The stars just aligned.
Yeah.
For this.
So this is one you'll watch it again?
Oh,
yeah.
I would watch it again, definitely.
Do you think it's something that you would like watch on a, maybe not even a regular basis, but every so often type of thing, or is it one where like somebody mentions it, you'd be like, yeah, sure?
I think it would be more of a movie like that.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not really baseball people.
Sure.
So, but even if we just wanted a movie to laugh at and have a good time, Sandlot's definitely a way to go.
Because it's about baseball, but it's not a baseball.
It's more of a story about kids featuring baseball.
And really poor decisions throughout. Just kids making bad choices every turn. Well, you made a good choice in coming and chatting here today, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let people know what you do. Anybody in the room that maybe isn't familiar with the two of you.
We make comedy online on many different social media platforms.
Upload
YouTube,
to
TikTok.
find.
Yes, you can find us pretty much anywhere, even if you just Google us. We love coming to cons. We love meeting people, and we've had a great time at Dragon Con. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for having us and for doing this.
Well, thank you, and thank everybody that's here at Dragon Con live in the room. And if this conversation was fun, I do this every week because I have a problem and I can't stop. So this is now 335 episodes of this show, including live ones that I've done. And you can find me at tvstravis.com. But thank you all for being here, and have a wonderful rest of your Dragon Con.
play ball like a girl!